I'm going to move you away from the mixer for a second. I'm just making the buttercream, but it's so loud. So we are doing a 2-tier cake. One is a drip cake, one is a scallop cake. So I actually need that. I've just done all the washing up. So it's a scallop cake, so we'll be using that. And it needs to be ready for, I think we're leaving about 12. So I've got quite a while to actually do it. I finished the bin cake that we did on last night's live, so that's all finished. And I actually put a photo of it on my personal Instagram, not like a full photo, just like a part photo of like the bottom corner, because it looked really cute with the little mini rainbows that we did. And the girl actually replied and she was like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this, it looks amazing, and like she hasn't even seen the whole thing. So she's super excited, but I'm going to leave the rest of it as a surprise because I want her to like react to it in person, because I always prefer that. But yeah, so that cake looks really nice. I'll show you that because it's in the fridge and it's all finished, so I'll show you that in a minute, and then you can see what the rainbow looks like on it, because I've added the big rainbow that we were waiting to set. So it's set overnight, and then I just added a bit of glue to it, and then now it's all ready on the cake. So yes, we're just making this buttercream. So I've got 3 blocks of butter, which is 750 grams, and then I'm going to add all the icing sugar. Hi Eliza. So bear with. I'll show you the cake while waiting. This is the one that I made yesterday. So as you can see, that's the rainbow that I added this morning, and then we got the little mini ones. That looks epic, thank you. Right, I'm just mixing this butter. Thank you. I got a load of people to set their alarms really early, and I'm hoping that they don't mind that we're a little bit late. I got everyone to set their alarms for, I think it was like 8:30. I told everyone we'd be doing the live, and then we're doing it like an hour later. But I had to get ready because I need to be ready for the party later. All I've got to do is my hair. And I also had to finish the other cake because she's coming whilst I'm going to be on this live. So that had to be finished so that when she came it was all ready. All I've got to do is box it up, which I'll show you how to do because people usually like to see how I box up the cakes. So I thought that gives me an opportunity to show you how I do it. And it will take 2 seconds. Hi Samantha, sorry I'm late. I was finishing off the other cake and also getting ready, and I had to go out and get butter. We're currently just mixing the buttercream, so I'm sorry about the noise because I hadn't had a chance to do it before, but I ran out of butter, so I had to go and get 5 blocks or something like that. Hi Claire. Thank you. I always get told that red really suits me, so now I wear it all the time. Like, most of my wardrobe is red. Ever since I dyed my hair brown, red suits me. It didn't used to suit me when I had blonde hair, but thank you, that's really sweet. One box down, and then we need to add another one. I frosted my first ombre cake yesterday. You make it look easy and it's not. I feel like it gets easier, but I quite like them, but I also don't want to discredit like how difficult you found it. But yeah, I found it difficult in the beginning. I feel like if your buttercream is really soft, that makes it 1,000 times easier because they blend a lot easier. But yeah, I think you'll get better at it. But it's one of my favourite like ombre and stripe cakes without any, scrapers. So like the stripe one that we did last night, that was without a scraper or like without a comb, so it doesn't like make grooves like this does. And I prefer doing those so much more to like other stripe cakes. I have a PT session in about half an hour, so I can't stay. I'd rather watch cake decorating than exercise. So would I. However, it's going to make you hungry, and then you're going to go to a PT session, which is not good. But luckily you won't miss much while you, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but when you go, that's probably when we'll start decorating, so then it means you can come back and watch all the decorating, if that makes sense. So it's not like you're gonna miss part of the decorating, you'll just miss all of it. So because we're still making the buttercream, but yeah, then it means you can come back and watch it afterwards and eat something because you'll probably be really hungry. But yeah, so, well, also, I'm not going to any PT sessions, nor have I been. So well done for actually going, because I would not be. This is going everywhere. think we might be done on that. So the top tier is Biscoff and the bottom is Victoria Sponge. So I'm just going to do vanilla buttercream because I can't do Biscoff because it needs to be coloured. So it has to be plain. So yeah, I'm just going to make it vanilla, I think. And then there's going to be some pink on it. And I've got a little bit of leftover I've got a bit of leftover Biscoff. So what I'm going to do is for the colour on the top tier, I'll use a little bit of Biscoff and try and colour it pink if I can and see how that works. Otherwise, I'll just use plain. So we're just going to add a little bit of vanilla into this and then we'll start colouring. There we go. Hi, Anne. Right, we're gonna start colouring. This is very, very stiff buttercream, which I don't usually go for, but it will be fine. So I've got 2 bowls and then we're going to leave some just like plain coloured buttercream in the bowl, if I can actually get it off of the mixer. I think we have a delivery. So buttercream in there, and I'm just going to divvy up into 2 bowls. Doesn't need to be exact, I'm just going for a rough estimate. So I don't know whether this needs more icing sugar in it. It looks very buttery. Because it's such a large batch, it's very hard to tell. I think I'm going to get a spoon and try it to make sure. Right, I'm just going to test it to make sure that it's not too buttery and like whether it's got enough icing sugar. Obviously don't double dip your spoon. If you are trying it, make sure you get a clean spoon every time you do that. I feel like it could do with a little bit more, but it's also very stiff. So I think I'm just going to leave it. So 1 spoonful, I think we might go for maybe like 4 of each colour, and then leave whatever's left in white, because we need white for the top tier and we also need it for the ombre in the bottom tier. Actually, that doesn't look like enough. We're going to do a little bit more. And then, how much have we got left? We're going to need to make a little bit more buttercream later on in the live, but we might not. We might get away with what we've made. It will mainly be if we need it for the board. Right. I think I'm going to go with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top tier first, because then if we have any leftover, like a large amount left over, then we can just use that for the bottom tier. But that one's plain, so it's best to do that one first, and then it means we know how much we have left over. So I'm going to be using my Wilton White just to make it a little bit whiter because it is quite cream. And I usually just do this by eye rather than like a specific amount. And then I'm going to pan you down. Right, so scrape all that off. I think I'm going to go no piping bag for this just because it's a simple smooth layer. So we have our white, and then just mix it up a little bit. I also need to take out the bottom tier and put the dowels in. So here's the top tier. It's very, very tall. And then we have the bottom. As you'll be able to see, I ran out of white buttercream for the crumb coat, so I just put an orange on there. And we're just going to put that to one side just to slightly soften, and then we'll put all the dowels in just because I will not be able to probably get them in currently. So that will just soften it a little bit. So we're just going to literally plonk this on. Right. This tier is going to have a drip on it, so we're not too worried about covering the top perfectly. Thank you, Natalie. Right. and then just move around any excess. This is how I do it if I don't use a piping bag. You just kind of fill any gaps as you go, and then we will use a scraper. So that is pretty much there. I'm just going to do one last that bit annoyed me. There we go. There's a little lip at the top, so I'm just going to fix that here. Perfect. So, most of the imperfections on a cake of this design you can hide because it is going to have smudges all over it, so we won't actually notice any marks, and it's like an opportunity to hide any little holes in the buttercream, anything like that, which is why it's such like an easy design to do, because you can just hide any imperfections. So we're going to shove that back in the fridge because it needs to be completely set before we do the second layer. And then I'm going to add a little bit more buttercream to a few areas just to smooth this out, ready for the final coat. Just like a thin layer all over, probably. Can't use that because I haven't coloured it. So just using the leftovers. Doesn't matter too much because it has already got a crumb coat on it. There we go. So, we're gonna get our dowels. We need right, we have, where's that fourth one gone? I'm sure I picked out 5. Maybe not. So, it does hurt your fingers doing this, but I've tried using like bottles and things like this, but the problem is they push it down too much and then you end up going into the cake. So you literally just have to use your fingers, which is so painful. Right, now I've got it down there, I can use like a bottle or something just to flatten it out. So, right, I'm just making sure they're all the same height. Right, cool beans. Hi Sammy, I'm good. I'm very good. Everything is going to plan, which we love. So yes, how are you? I'm just going to cover the dowels so that they're basically like non-existent. So you just go over them with buttercream. Could you use a thimble? That is a very good idea, because then it goes on your finger. Because that's the thing, I feel like if you're using something else, you could, say you're using this bottle, you could just drop it and then it goes right on the cake. So I feel like it's quite risky to use something other than your finger to push them down. But yeah, that might work. So that is all smooth. And what we're going to do is, now that we've put the dowels in, we're going to quickly shove it back in the fridge, mix our colours, and then we'll get this back out. Right, so we need to mix these. I think we need a little bit of white. So I'm going to take a little bit from here. That's going to be the dark pink because we don't need as much as that. And then I'm going to take a little bit from the light pink as well. And then we're definitely going to need more, I can already tell, but that's fine. And then I'm just going to mix that with the Wilton White. How many cakes do you do roughly in a week? I usually do 5. I usually don't take on more than that unless I'm really feeling like it. And what I usually do is try and balance it out. So like if I do 5 one week, then the next week I could do 10, but then the week after that I need to go back down. Otherwise I just feel like burnt out and too tired, because doing any more than that, usually it's 5 from like Thursday to Sunday, because it's very rare that I have ones in the week. So it could be more if they were during the week. Like I've had weeks where I've had like 8 to 12. But obviously that is from like Monday to Sunday. So it's like a full week. So if it's just Thursday onwards, which is basically the weekend, then it's usually around 5. I didn't take any more this week because I knew that I had a party today, so I couldn't do any more, and I've got one to do for tomorrow. So I've had 4 cakes, but 2 of them have been 2-tier cakes, so I don't class that as 4 cakes, I class it as 6 because they take just as long. So yeah, I actually have quite a few this week, but it also depends on like the month as well. Like July was ridiculous. July I had a couple of weeks where I had 8 cakes, and then one week I had 12. So yeah, it just really depends on the month. The daddy long legs is literally right there, so I'm keeping an eye on it. That's the one that I was talking about in last night's live. So annoying, it won't go away. Right, we've mixed our colours. This one I'm going to make slightly darker, which is the pale pink. Spray it with what? Managed to join you today, love your top. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, what do I spray it with? I want to catch it with a glass, but I'm worried because their legs are so long that like I don't want to, you know what I'm going to say, but that's why I hate catching daddy long legs, because I don't want to catch them by their legs because it's just disgusting. I might get the hoover, like I've got a little mini hand hoover, I might get that out. Bug spray, fly spray, spider spray. I need all of the above because I really hate bugs. Right, I'm going to get the hoover. I'm going to move these buttercreams over here. And then I'm going to get the little mini hoover and we're going to get him, because I bet you as soon as I get the cake out, he's going to start flying around and I can't be dealing with that. So oh, I hate them so much. I hate spiders, I hate daddy long legs, and I hate hoovering them up. I hate it. Right, let's go. This is like 101 how to kill a daddy long legs. Right, we're gonna hide it out there. That's what we do when we hoover up spiders. We literally hoover them up and then we hide it outside because I don't want them coming out of the hoover. It scares the hell out of me. The other day I felt really bad because I was cleaning the kitchen and I decided to hoover up all of the like little tiny spiders and like the daddy long legses that have come in. So I was like, right, I'm gonna hoover them up, and it was like the 10th time I'd hoovered them up that week, but they just kept coming in because it seems to be like daddy long leg season or whatever. And I hoovered them all up and I forgot that I was hoovering them all up together. So they were literally in the hoover, like fighting each other. It was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, why is this happening? So yeah, that was, oh, typical of Aussies. That makes so much sense. Your spider season is slightly different to ours. Our spiders are a lot smaller. However, I still don't like them. So either way. Right. We have our cake. We need our piping bags. They're over here. I'm glad that that daddy long legs is gone. That's just really settled me now. Don't have to worry about it. We need 3 for the white, light pink and dark pink. There we go. So, cut them all to size. One is the wrong way around. There we go. It is pouring with rain, and I think the party is outside, so that's not good. Right. This is the darker pink. There we go. Did you manage to get hold of some white chocolate spread, or have you found an alternative? I know you're running out. So I thought I was running out, and then I found 2 jars of it in the cupboard. However, I have ordered some and it arrived, so I didn't get white chocolate spread. I got an alternative, which I'm going to try, and fingers crossed it's good. I might try it today just so that I know whether it's good or not, like fairly soon, because the other jars are going to run out. But yeah, I got one from Cake Decorating Company just because I was ordering from them. It's not that like it was necessarily better. I saw the JM Posner one, which is the one that I wanted, but because I was already paying for delivery and stuff from Cake Decorating Co., that's why I got it from them, because I thought I order from them a lot, so it means that I can order it with all my normal stuff. It just makes sense for it all to come together. So we're gonna see if it's any good. I'm really hoping that it is. I will show you the packaging. I think it's called Baking Brothers, but it looks pretty good, so we'll see if it's going to work. Right, we're just going to do the white. Right, they're all bagged up. This is the thing that I'm trying. It's called Baking Brothers, and it's white chocolate paste, they call it, but it says that you can melt it, so I'm thinking that it should be the same. So we're going to try that. I actually managed to order quite a lot of stuff from Cake Decorating Co. the other day. Usually they're out of stock of everything I need. Yeah, like, quite often they have all the stuff I need, but there are times where they have literally nothing. Like, my most recent order, I had to buy 10-inch boards for everything, which I don't normally do. I had to order them for 6-inch cakes, for 8-inch cakes, because they didn't have any of the sizes that I wanted. So I was like, well, we're going to have to go bigger than I would normally need. Right, because it's tie-dye, we're literally just piping on randomly. Right, we're going to go for the lighter pink now. And then what we're going to do is just fill any gaps with white. So we're going to go in with white, and then we can always go back in with the pink. How do you know how much buttercream to make for each cake? I always have some spare. To be fair, I usually have some spare, but I find that like if it goes to waste, it goes to waste, like as bad as that sounds, because I have obviously charged for the cake, so I don't mind if a little bit goes to waste. I try and avoid it, but sometimes there is. But most of the time, it's because I do covered boards. I find that because I'm always covering the board, it means that any excess is used to cover the board, so that kind of gets rid of any wastage. But if you don't do covered boards, then I always end up with leftovers. Because when you're doing a covered board, you can kind of make it work, if that makes sense. So there's times where I have not had enough buttercream to cover a board, but because you're putting toppings on it, you can just do a very thin layer of covering, and then it means that no one can actually tell that you didn't necessarily have enough. Right, we're going in with the darker pink again, just to fill any gaps. So we're going to do a thin layer on the top because it will be covered. There we go. And then I'm just cleaning a palette knife for when we tidy up the sides. So we're going to do a very rough, smooth coat, and then we're going to go in with the scallop. So it literally does not matter if there's loads of holes, because you're going in with the scallop side, so then that will sort it all out. It's just to get it semi-smooth. And then just go to town on the scallop. This is where you need to be filling any gaps because you do not want holes when you're doing a scallop. So then you can kind of tell a lot more where the holes are. And you don't want to fill them too late because once you've got a solid scallop, you want to kind of stop. So fill the holes pretty early, and then it means that hopefully you won't have to fill them again. I've got to go, sorry, I've got work. Oh, well, enjoy work. And I will see you on the next live, Freddie. Right. We're just going to smooth out the top and then that is done. The scallop edge scrapers are so nice. I love them so much. It's probably one of my favourites. So I smooth all this out and then I go round once more because where you smooth out the top, you can sometimes ruin the edge here. So we're going to just go over that again just to make sure that it's perfect. There we go. And then we're just going to go round once more. There we go. So that is just trying to work out where I want the front. I think we're going to go for here. We're going to box up that other cake in a minute because she's coming at 11, so I'm going to box that up to make sure that it's ready for when she comes. But before we do that, we're going to add the splashes of paint. So this has got a little lid on it, which my last one did not have. There we go. So we're going to add a little bit of pink and then we've got some gold as well. So just take a very big brush. I'm using this one. And then just dip it in and use your finger. Right. Now we're going to go in with the pink. We don't want as much of the pink because the main kind of focus is meant to be the gold. So we're just doing small amounts of the pink to fill any gaps. Oh, it's looking so pretty already. I'm so excited. Right. So, the splashes are all done. We're going to add some gold leaf. And then it's going to be popped back in the fridge, I think. And then we're going to quickly box up this cake, so that's done. Right, the gold leaf is done. As we've still got a little bit of time, I'm going to add on the pearls because I prefer to do it before it goes in the fridge, just because the buttercream will set more. Because yeah, we've still got half an hour until that lady comes, so we have plenty of time to box up the cake. And we're just using the little white pearls. Have you ever tried rose gold leaf? So pretty and would look amazing on this colour scheme. I have never tried it. That's definitely one that I need to try out because it would probably, like you say, look really nice with the pinks. I do like the gold because I find it does stand out a lot more because I've got a rose gold paint and it's a little bit more muted and I quite like the bold colour. But yes, I will definitely have to try it out. Rose gold may blend in too much. Yeah, I mean, it would be good to have, I think, as well as the gold. Like, you could do both. I would never, like, mix silver and gold, but you could mix gold and rose gold together, and it would probably look really nice. And have them both on there. So now I'm using the little gold pearls. And I'll give you a close-up once I've done this because then you'll be able to see a bit better. I've got a few little tiny star sprinkles, which are really cute, and because it's a kid's cake, I'm going to put just a few on there because I think it will look pretty. I think they're too dark. Then we're going to add a few big gold pearls. And then just a few metallic rods, and then it's going back in the fridge. So where's the front? Right. So there is the scallop. As you can see, you can't see the colour too much close up, but you can see that there's all the little pearls stuck to it. And then we've got some on the top as well. And then if I bring it back, you can see the colour a bit better. So we're going to put that in the fridge whilst that sets. What we're going to do is box up this other cake. So we need an allergen sticker, business card, a little thank you card. Looks beautiful just like that. Thank you. It's part of a 2-tier, so it's going to, that one will stay the same. That won't have like any more things on it, but it will be the base of the 2-tier. So the top tier is going to have some smudges of colour, some smudges of pink on it, and then it's going to have a white drip. And then there's lots of dried flowers going on it, which I will show you in a minute. And there's also a name topper going on it as well. And then it's got a covered board with some cake pops and little like small decorations and things on it. But yeah, that tier is actually going to stay as it is, that base cake. It's just the top one that needs some more decorations, and then we'll be stacking them. So I need to just box up this cake so that when she arrives it's all ready to go. So where can I put you? Here. I use cellophane now. I didn't used to. So I've got food colouring all over my hands. So yeah, I will be using cellophane instead of cling film. So this always sticks to the box. What I'm going to be doing is just ticking off the allergen list for the other cake. So it's double chocolate, so it's egg, milk, soya, gluten, and then I always, even if there are no traces, I always say may contain traces of nuts, just because it covers you, because it could. So even though it's very unlikely, it could. So I always write it on there because nuts is such a common allergy whereas most of the others aren't very common, and obviously I would write on there if I thought that there was any chance, but things like fish and stuff like that, I don't eat fish, so it's not in my section of the fridge anyway to contaminate it, and also I don't cook at the same time as like people would be making dinner, so there wouldn't be a chance of it being contaminated with that. But yeah, whereas nuts, it could. So I always just write that on there. And then I'm just writing out my little gift notes. These are the ones that I designed, little thank you notes, and then that's the merch cupcake. Oh, your alarm didn't go off. Oh no. To be fair, we didn't start at 8:30, we started at 9:30, so you didn't miss too much. We've only done the bottom tier. We still need to do the top tier of the cake. We've only done the scallop one for the bottom. We need to do the smudges on the top one and the drip and all the decorations, so you've got plenty left. So on this I just write to transport it and the storage when you get home, so I always just put please transport. I'm just going to read it out as I write it because it's easier. Please transport your cake in an empty footwell or boot with the aircon on. Once home, please store your cake in the fridge until 30 minutes before eating. It can be removed from the box to save fridge space. Ta-da. So that's literally all I write on there. The reason that I write them out every time is because they do change. Some people get their cake delivered, it's very rare, but some people do get their cake delivered, so I obviously wouldn't put the whole spiel about transporting it because I'm going to be delivering it. And then if I know that someone's going to a venue, then I'm not going to tell them to put it in the fridge because I know that they're probably not going to have a venue which has a fridge. And then also if I know that it's a particularly tall cake, then I would tell them that they can completely take it out the box. But if it's not necessarily a tall cake, then I would tell them to just leave it in the box in the fridge. So it does change, which is why I write it out every time. And also because depending on the customer, I do sometimes change it. It sounds bad, but like if I've had messages from a customer where they've been like, do I really need to keep it in the fridge? Do I really need to do this? Do I really need to do that? Then, or if they just seem a bit difficult, then I can write this in a bit more detail so that it covers me basically. This is a very simplified version, but if someone was being a bit difficult and wanted to, you know, transport it on someone's lap and stuff like that, then I would just put, you know, please note that after collection, this is out of my hands if the cake is damaged, etc, etc. So you can obviously change it depending on the customer because unfortunately some are worse than others. So some might need more of a stricter note than others. And also some of my regulars, they've had like 6 cakes from me plus. So I'm not going to write the same spiel on there because they know it off by heart. They don't need it. So usually I just write, please place in the fridge once home, enjoy, thanks for ordering. Like that's pretty much it because they don't need the whole explanation all over again. But yeah, that's why I quite like to not just have the standard thing. So this is how I do my boxes. So I'm going to show you how. So what I do is I staple here because then it keeps it straight like that rather than like this. And then you just peel this and basically like break it off like so, and then you get a nice corner. Wrong side, this side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to staple that to the back of the box. So you get your box and you put in all the little flaps. I always staple these down because if someone's carrying it in a weird way, so say like someone's going like this, then the flaps are going to go in. So I always staple them down so that they can't move and potentially hit the cake. It's just because I like to think that cakes arrive absolutely perfect. I don't want them to have even the slightest dent in them, so that's why I do that. So I'll pan you down a little bit so that you can see. Right, so you just hold it up to the level that you want it. I want it at like the highest level that it can go, I think. I might put it in here so that I can see. So Danny, you might be wanting to see what it looks like. So I'll just turn it around. Got the rainbow topper in the background. So this is what it looks like. So that's the rainbow that we made yesterday. So I'm just going to turn this around. As you can see, I'm using cocktail sticks. So we're going to place this in here just so that I can get a rough height idea. I don't push it all the way to the back because otherwise you're not going to be able to staple it. So we don't actually need it because the cellophane will go over the top. So we don't need it as tall as the actual topper. And then you just staple the sides. This stapler is so bad. Most of the time it works, but most of the time it also doesn't. There we go. And then I'm just going to add another staple to this side. There we go. So you then just do the flaps at the front. I shove the business card just in the flap. Stick the allergen label to the front. And then I'm just going to staple this note to the side. And then what we're going to do is I need to get some sellotape. Wow, that makes it look so full and amazing. Love that cake, so adorable. Thank you. So we're going to get the cellophane now, and we're going to get some sellotape and go over the top of the cake. My tape. So got it. You remembered your apron? Yes, I did. I thought it was in the wash, but it wasn't. It was in my dried washing pile that I needed to put away. Thank you for showing us this, very clever. No worries. I'm going to pan you down a bit more so that you can see how the cellophane works. It's right on the edge of the table, so I unfortunately can't move it any further back. So, cellophane, you just literally go over. I'm not worried about flattening the topper because you can just bend it. It's really easy, so she can just bend it when she gets the cake. And then you're just gonna cut along the front. And then we're going to go round the back. And if you loosely tape it, then it's got plenty of room for the topper. It's literally just to cover it from fluff in the car, stuff like that. Because you obviously don't want it getting dirty. And then there's no right or wrong way to do this. You literally just fold bits of the cellophane down, and then you will get folded nice edges. I used to use cling film. However, I found that when the cake was cold, the cling film would really want to just stick to it, which you don't want. There we go. So, cellophane from Amazon. Of course it is. All of my, I buy everything that I own on Amazon. I love it so much. Quick delivery, that's the main thing. So there we go. So that's all nicely uncovered. Doesn't really matter that we have bits at the side because it will cover mostly from any fluff or anything that's flying around, and I don't want to damage the top or anything. So yeah. This one was 65, and that was probably slightly undercharging. Because 6-inch drip cakes are £60, and then it was £5 for the name and the number. That was about right. Usually I charge £5 for just one topper, so that was probably about right for those because they are slightly smaller than normal. But I did make the fondant rainbow, so the fondant rainbow should have been an extra £5, but I didn't add it in. I was chatting to the person and I didn't add it into the price. That's my fault. But yeah, and to be fair, the fondant rainbows took me 2 seconds to make, so I wasn't that fussed. It wasn't like it was something really difficult. So yes, not too fussed. Should be like 70. Yeah, it should be. My prices are going up in the new year. I'm just waiting for that because like they went up in the new year this year, so then I'm going to put them up again. So it will be from 65 for a 6-inch cake and from 80 for an 8-inch cake. Yeah, just by judging like other people's pricing and their skill set compared to mine, that's like what I've come up with. But at the moment it's 60, I think, or like even 55, I think, for a very simple 6-inch. So yeah, it definitely needs to go up, but yeah. And then the other one, the 2-tier cake, is 110, but because it's for family, I always give a bit of discount. So I gave them, what is it? It's like 20% or something. I gave 20% off just because it's family, and also them in particular, like that, I have loads of siblings, but that particular brother and his partner always order cakes from me. So that's why I give them such a big discount, because I mean, they'd happily pay full price, but it's just because they buy so many that they're obviously good customers. So, and also like, as much as most people would do family cakes for free, unfortunately they cost so much that I can't do them for free. And also, if I was to do them for free, I would have to turn down potentially a paid order, because say like this 2-tier cake, I couldn't do any other cakes than the ones that I've done today, like this one and the 2-tier cake. So if I had done a 2-tier cake for free, then I'd be turning down someone paying me like £100 for a cake. So that's why you kind of still have to charge, because like it is still your time. But yeah, they're obviously happy to pay, so I am grateful for that. So I'm going to shove this, I'm hoping that it will fit in my mum's fridge because I don't have any room in mine. So, because once that cake is stacked, that 2-tier cake, there'll be no room in there because I have to take all the shelves out once it's stacked. So we're going to try and fit this in my mum's fridge, fingers crossed. Right. It went in the fridge, so that is good. So I'm gonna have a sip of my tea because I'm so tired. I went to bed at like 1 yesterday, and then I was up at 8 today getting ready. I'm the same, I give discount but never free. Some family members don't order, which is annoying because I'm doing it for a discount. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of family members who don't order from me. They would prefer to buy from a supermarket, which is perfectly fine. But at the same time, I obviously can't do my cakes for free because if I'm turning down a paying customer, it's not worth it. Obviously it is a job at the end of the day, so and especially because I have so many family members, it would be unfair because some of them are happy to pay. So I can't give freebies to certain family members that don't necessarily want to pay for my cakes, because then obviously you would upset other family members. So I have to just do a blanket price list, and I just say, right, I'll give you like 10 to 20% off depending on how big the cake is. Obviously this was a 2-tier cake, so it was very big, so it was £110, so I was like, well, I'll do it for 90 because it's a big cake. Whereas if it was like a £40 cake, then I'd probably just do like £10 off, and then yeah, but I mean that wouldn't even like cover ingredients really. But yeah, so I try to keep it as fair as possible, basically, because I feel like when you're working with like family and friends, it's difficult to give some discounts and like some more than others, so you have to try and make it fair. Right, what we need to do now is we need to do the smudges on the top of the 2-tier cake, and then it's going to quickly go back in the fridge for like 2 seconds because they're really thin layers, so they won't take long to set. And then we're going to stack it, and once it's stacked we can do the drip, and then we're going to add all the decor and we will be done. My lady is coming any minute now, so I will probably have to pop out in a second just to hand over the cake. I'm going to quickly check my messages just to make sure that she hasn't said anything to me. Bear with. Right, no messages, so we're good. So as far as I'm aware, she's still coming at 11, so that's good. That cake will be gone, and then we have 45 minutes until I think we're meant to be leaving. I think they said between 12 and 12:30 arrive, and they're only 15 minutes away, so I don't think we're leaving very soon. I'm back. Glad I didn't miss the stacking and decorating. No, you didn't. We've decorated the bottom layer, but we haven't done the top one. So I'm going to bring you back over here. We're going to start on the top tier and just see how far we get before the lady comes to collect. Right, so we're doing pink smudges. So what I'm going to do is just pipe randomly a few little lodges, mainly over where there's any holes, because then it's like an excuse to hide them. And then we're just going to scrape that. Just wipe my scraper because it's got icing sugar all over it from where I was mixing all the buttercream. Right, so message didn't send earlier. You should definitely up your prices. Your work is great. Thank you. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to work my way up, because in the beginning when I first started, I really hyped up my prices because I was like better than some of the people in my area for the same price. So I thought, well, I should up mine. So I did up it, but then people didn't want to pay because I'd only just started. But now people don't mind. So that's why I'm going to up it in the new year, because I have regular customers and I know that people will happily pay. So yes, I will be upping it in the new year. I just like to do it on a kind of like regular basis. So I like to do it on a specific time, if that makes sense. So like the end of each year rather than like randomly throughout the year. So I'm going to do it for January onwards, basically. I'm not sure which side is going to be the front. Right, perfect. I'm a new business, so I charge quite cheap, going to up my prices soon. Yes, definitely. That's the thing, like if your work is good enough quality for your prices, then definitely up it, because it's like, even if you're new, you're still worth that much, which is what I did in the beginning. I was like, well, I mean, I hiked them up too much because I didn't have the reviews. So even though I was good enough for those prices, I didn't have the reviews and like all the customers. So as much as I could charge those prices if it was maybe a more established business, I couldn't, because I hadn't been going long enough. So I had to slightly lower them, get loads of customers in, and then I upped them in the new year, because I was like, right, my work is good enough. So yeah, but I will be upping them again. So that is all smudged. As you can see, we've got pink on there. I don't know, do I have a darker pink? Oh yes, I do. So I'm going to put a few splodges of darker pink just to add a bit of depth. What kind of chocolate cake recipe would you recommend? They are all so different. Some use oil, some use butter, coffee, buttermilk, etc. Mine is literally just a standard recipe, nothing fancy, and everyone seems to like it. That's why I've never changed it. Mine isn't like a black forest, like really chocolatey one, because I personally find it too sickly, so I don't offer it. Mine is a milk chocolate cake recipe, so it's not particularly dark in terms of the sponge. It's quite a light brown, and it uses stalk, it doesn't use oil, and it doesn't use any like buttermilk or anything like that, and it uses cocoa powder instead of melted chocolate. So I prefer cocoa powder for sponges. I just think it comes out a lot nicer. So yeah, it really just depends on what kind of finish you're going for, I think. So I might add, I quite like the darker pink. So I'm just going to add in a couple more dots of the darker pink because it's quite nice. There we go, perfect. So we are going to shove that back in the fridge because we can't stack it until we've moved it. Or we can't do the drip until we've stacked it, is what I meant. So we need to put it onto the other cake before we can actually do the drip. So I'll probably do the drip once this lady's collected, so then I'm not getting interrupted. But I'm going to move the shelves around a little bit in here, just so that we have enough room. So take all my food out because it will go back in like an hour or so. Shelve out. And then put this back in there. Perfect. Right, I'm just gonna double check when we're leaving so that I know how much time we have, because I don't have much to do, but I still need to know a rough guideline so that I know what I'm working for. Hi Gemma. Did you decide the size of your brownies based on the size of the boxes you could get? No, I did it based on the tin. I literally just baked in tins and I was like, right, that looks like a good size, that looks like a good size, and just cut them up. And then I was like, right, that gives me 4, that gives me 6, and just did it that way. Yeah, and then I worked 11:45. That's my mum, she's on the chat. So are we getting there for 12, mum? Because I got a message saying between 12 and 12:30, so I was hoping that it was the later. Yeah, I decided on the size of the boxes by just typing in the measurements. So I literally just typed in the measurements of the brownies and just put that into Amazon, and then it just came up with all the boxes that were that size. So it was pretty easy to find boxes that fit the brownies. Right, we're going to melt this chocolate spread because it's 11:08 and the lady hasn't come yet. Not a problem, but I thought I might as well start on the drip if she isn't here yet. So, and the drip takes 2 seconds. It's super, super quick, so it won't be a problem if she actually arrives like during. So quickly melt this. I'm using white chocolate spread as usual. So, I'm just thinking what I need to do. I was meant to bake some cake layers, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance before we leave. So I'll have to do that later. I'm not sure if I'm going live later. I might, but obviously I've done 2 lives, so I also might not. I'm going to see how I feel, because it's a cake with lots of fondant on it. So it's probably going to be stressful. It's a buttercream cake, but it's just got lots of fondant accents. So I have a feeling I'm going to get stressed out. So what I might do is make all the fondant bits first and then maybe go live. We'll see. Or maybe I'll do them on the live. Okay, everyone's like, please. Okay, I will go live again tonight. However, it will be a late one. I will warn you, because I haven't baked the cake yet. And it's for tomorrow, but that's not a problem. I'll be able to get it done. But I'll have to bake it. Oh, 15. I'll have to bake it and then stack it before I can even go live. So if I get back at like 5, bake it till 6, then at maybe like 6:30 I'll stack it, and then it'll need to be in the fridge. So it probably won't be until like maybe 8:30, the live. It'll probably be similar to yesterday, where it's a late one. So yes, that will be the plan. Okay, I'll do that later. It's a Roblox cake, so I've got to make a little figure to go on it, which I'm really scared about, because I'm hoping that I can do it, basically. It's a very simple figure, but I'm just worried. So what time is it now there? It is 11 AM here. The later the better for me. Okay, yeah, I will do a late one, guys, don't worry. So don't need you, right, let's get, oh, we can't do the drip until it's stacked. Oh, I think my person's here, so BRB, I'll be back. I've got someone come in It was not them. It wasn't them. It was post. Right. We have our little board, which will be 6 PM, 8 PM. So if I go live at 8 PM tonight, that is in how many hours? Someone work it out for me. I cannot do the math. Or if I go live at 9, that's 10 hours. So if it's 6 PM for you, it will be 4 AM if I went live. And it would be is that right? 4 AM? If I went live at 9 PM tonight. So it will be very, very early for some of you. Right. We need a board for flipping. And then we need the cake. So, for anyone that missed it, this is the base tier. We've got all the sprinkles on there. 4 AM I meant. Yeah, definitely it's going to be early. Right. That's the front. I'm going to go and grab a dowel from my mum's office. A little wooden dowel to go through the middle. Right. So, our dowel is in there, as you can see, and then we're going to put our top tier on top. So, here's the scary part, which everyone hates. So, board goes on the top, hands either side, flip, then just shove it on the side, and then we are going to just shimmy the board off of it. There we go, it's off. Then we have our little mini board. We need to make a hole in that because that would be horrid if we forgot. This is that someone said the other day, they were like Amy's piercing parlour. Ow. This is my least favourite part because I can never... I need some kind of piercing tool. I don't know what you would use, but I need something. On my way, running a little late. Well, that's fine. That's the person collecting the bin cake, which is absolutely fine. Not fussed. Right. Just wiggle it around a bit, make sure that the hole is prominent. And then what we're going to do, get a bit of buttercream, smush it on the base of the cake, stick your board to that, pan you down a little bit. There we go. Stick your board, then you need to put some buttercream on here. I forgot to do this last time, but it wasn't actually a problem. So, done. And then the moment of truth. So, which side do we want as the front? Sorry, bear with. Just trying to decide. Right, I think we want you. So line up your hole. And then, oh, just drop it on there. There we go. So, I need to wipe my hands because they are covered. And then we need to pipe a bit of buttercream around the edge. So, where is that nozzle? Found one. Hi from Sydney. Amazing, well done. Thank you, that was stressful. Right, I've lost a nozzle, as usual. Let's do. I honestly don't know how I lose nozzles so easily. just going to use this one instead. Excuse the mess. What size are the tiers? This is a 4-inch, which is actually quite tall. Didn't realise how tall it was, but it's fine. And then that's a 6-inch. Right, we need a piping bag. Scissors. So I'm just piping random into this so that we get a mixture of colours. Ouch. Oh, come on. Right. So we've done our little border around there. I'm going to move you a little bit closer. So yeah, we've done our border around the top. I'm hoping that I might be able to do the board without actually making any more buttercream, which would be amazing, but I think that might be a bit optimistic. Oh, you know what I can do? I can use the leftover Biscoff and make it into a pink. And then that can fill in the gaps. Right, we're going to do our drip. So this is the front. There we go. So, I'm going to drop some sprinkles on there. My lady has just arrived. I'm going to shove this back in the fridge quickly. Right, be right back. Oh, done. So she's collected. She absolutely loved it, which we love. Yeah, she saw, I don't know if anyone follows me on my personal account, but I posted a tiny little snippet on there because I didn't necessarily want her to see it, but I also thought that if she does see it, then it doesn't matter because it's like a teeny corner of the cake. But yeah, she messaged me last night saying, oh my god, I'm so excited, it looks amazing. And that was just like the corner of the cake. I took a photo of like the board and like the stripes, but I didn't get like the drip and the top and everything in it. So then she saw that and obviously messaged me, but yeah, she just saw it and she was like, it looks amazing. So I'm very, very excited. Right, we need to just finish off this one now. So we need to get a move on. Right, so right, what we're going to do is we have some leftover Biscoff buttercream here, so I'm going to make it into a pink just to go on the board. It's not like for any particular purpose, so it doesn't matter if it's a slightly, like it doesn't matter that it's a different flavour, but it also doesn't matter whether it's a slightly darker pink because of the Biscoff, because it's to go on the board, so it's not for like the main cake anyway. So I'm going to microwave this quickly just to make it a little bit softer. Right, so I've microwaved that, so it makes it a lot softer and just like easier. So as you can see, it's like a creamy brown, so we're just going to add some pink to it basically and make it into a pink. And I love Biscoff. I cannot wait to eat that top tier because it's Biscoff and it's going to taste so good. Right. Right, what colour? So we're going to go for the pale pink to start with, see how that colours it. Because it will probably end up looking like a dark pink anyway. I'm also going to add a little bit of Wilton white because that will probably help lighten it up. And then a little bit more of the pink. Bit more white and then a bit more pink. So that has made a very pale pink, so that's what we're going to use. And I'm going to put it into one of these piping bags I've already used because they're not very used. And I'm going to put a different nozzle on it. Your cakes are amazing, thank you. Oh god, what am I doing here? Trying to get this nozzle further down. There we go. Right. Put the pale pink right. And then we're going to put this on the board. I've made a hole in it, which is now leaking. Right, perfect. Wipe that. So this is where the front is. I'm just going to do a few blotches. And then we need to start getting everything on there. So we have a name, which I'm gonna shove on there now because it's quite big. There we go. And then we have 2 bouquets of dried flowers to mix and match. So move all this stuff out of the way. Right, so we're going to not use that, use that, not that. Not that. That. And then I have a few little bits in here as well. Right, so we're going to use the big fan on the top. My message got deleted. Did it? Not by me. Feel free to send it again. Well, your videos are always knowledgeable, especially on how to start a food business. I gained 5 stars, so thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Well done. Right, we're just cutting this. It's a bit thicker than the last one I purchased, so it's a bit harder to cut. Cool, that is... It wasn't this difficult last time. And then I'll just cut off the excess to tidy it up. Right. So, this goes at the top here. And then you literally just cut these as you please. So I just trim them . Just looking at the photo so I know what I'm working from. Take that one out and we're going to replace it with this big one. Right, so need so right, what I'm going to do is put this in the fridge to give it a little more time, and then we're going to make the chocolate pops quickly. Right, I need to make a heart, a lollipop, and a number. I just need to check. She's going to be 2, so where do you buy your dried flowers from? Do you prefer tea or coffee? Always tea. I buy my dried flowers from this lady on Etsy. She is amazing. I buy all my dried flowers from her multiple times. Her name is Mamie Peaches. Sorry if you've already answered this, but how much did the dried flowers and spears cost? Each set was, one of them was £8, one of them was £9 for the bouquet that I showed you right at the beginning, not beginning of the video, but like before I took them all apart. You would have seen like what's included in a bouquet. That looks amazing. Thank you. That is a good stack. Well done. Thank you. We're just finishing off with a few little bits. So just getting right, we need to melt some chocolate quickly. I should be done by 12. Right, I'm just going to get my mould quickly. Right, so heart mould, chocolate bar mould. Where are the others? Can't find my moulds and I don't know where they are. It's really annoying me. Trying to think where they would be. Right, BRB, I'm gonna have a little look, see if I can find these moulds whilst that is melting. Success. Right, we have heart mould, number mould, twister mould, everything we need. So, and we only need one number because she's turning 2, so we only need one of those. We should be done, and then I can box it up, and we need to leave. They're only like 10 minutes away, so they said between 12 and 12:30, so we will be there by like 1:15. So yes. So yeah, how is everyone doing? Have you enjoyed the live so far? I know you've probably said this before, but what are your go-to piping tips? Can you show what they look like? Definitely the 8B, the Wilton 8B. It's like a star nozzle. It's dirty, so I can't currently show it because it's like literally covered in buttercream, so you won't be able to see what it looks like, but it's something like a 12-point star, something like that, nozzle. And then the 2D, which I use on every single cake, just because I love it. That's the one that creates the nice rosettes, looks great on every cake. And then I use one that's from Amazon, which I'd recommend because they do like a set, and it's like £10, but you use quite a few of them. So even though you're getting loads of random ones, which you will probably never use, all the others you will. So I have a smaller version of the 8B. So it's that star nozzle which creates the it reminds me of like ice gems where they've got that like whip. It creates that rather than a swirl like a rose. So I would recommend that one because again I use that on every cake, but it's a smaller version of the 8B because all the Wilton ones are quite big nozzles, whereas it's nice to have a few small ones which you can use for more like intricate details, and Wilton doesn't really do those, so I get them on Amazon because then they're smaller. We are almost done. And then these need to go in the freezer for a couple of minutes before we add them on, in which time I'm gonna start making the box. Also, I'm using Cowball, however you pronounce it, because I don't have any normal white chocolate left. Usually I'd use like Milky Bar, but it's also a family cake, so I'm not fussed about using the more like expensive chocolate. And it does taste really nice, so that's always nice. Right, just trying to get this to melt. White chocolate, as I always say, takes a little longer. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. And I'm just doing it in 15 and 20-second bursts. So we need one of these, one geo heart, one of these, a 2 out of here, and then we're going to do a couple of leftover chocolate bars. I do that with like any leftover chocolate. If there's no leftover, then I don't usually bother because I can add things like lint, but if there is leftover, then I just use that to kind of get rid of it. So close. It's got a few lumps in it, so it's got to go back in. One more time. Also, I'm not going to get to do my hair, so yeah, because we need to leave. So I'm either going to leave it up like this, or I might just take it down and brush it, and it will be like wavy. I was going to curl it, but that idea has gone out the window. But that's because I didn't get up. I was going to get up at like 7:30, but then I got up at 8 instead, and obviously we didn't do the live until like 9:30 or something, because I was faffing around with the other cake. So right, it's all melted. So all of these are just white, they're just plain white, and then they have a bit of what do you call it? They have a bit of gold leaf on them. So we're just doing plain white, and then we will add the gold leaf. So I'll just right, so we have some leftover, so I'm going to put it in these chocolate bars. Right, freezer time quickly. Right, almost done. Right, shove this one in here. So, just thinking what I need to do, or what I can do whilst we're waiting. I'm going to add a little more spray to it. I'm going to add these little pink bits and this fluffy one. So, this area is beyond messy, like so messy. We're just not gonna think about it. So. Ooh, what have I got there? Oh, nozzles going everywhere. Maybe that's a nozzle that I was looking for, because it just came from like under some stuff. Right. Sit that there. Where's that nozzle one? So I'm using the Cake Decor Gold Luster. Then, don't know where the other paintbrush. Here we go. So, I'm gonna splatter a little bit of gold on the top tier here. Going to go now, going to a coffee shop, might see the end of the live. No worries, thank you for joining. It's called Cow Bowl. Not trying to seem like a dick. No, it's fine. I want to know how to pronounce it, but I literally have no idea. So I literally just, I'm like, cow ball, cool ball, whatever, like, I'm not, because I know that I pronounce it wrong every single time. Right. Now we just need to wait for those little bits in the freezer, and then we're done. He's a little bit wonky, which is really annoying, but yeah, it's fine. He's wonky at the back, at least at the front. He's fine, so that's good. But yeah, see, he's a little bit wonky at the back. But I think it's because the bottom tier wasn't dead flat. The bottom tier went slightly down at the back, so I think that's done that. But that is okay. Right. I'm just gonna, while we're waiting, I'm just gonna add these so that I don't have to do it afterwards. Oh, to be fair, it looks wonkier because I've got the thing wonky. It's not actually that wonky. I had the like phone wonky, so as you can see, there's a little bit of a tilt there. It's not as wonky as it looked a second ago. Right, these bits we're just sticking anywhere. Right, I'm just gonna quickly check with my mum about timing. I'm literally gonna. That's fine. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna drive separately to my parents. One, just so that I can drive, because I'm just precious about the cake and I obviously don't want anything to happen to it. So yeah, I will be there. I will still be there early, but I won't be there as early as they will. And it also means that I can leave later, because as we know, because I was talking about the live, I need to leave in order to make that cake later for tomorrow. So and I also need to tidy up this mess when I come home. So I would much prefer to be able to leave like as and when I want to, because then I can leave early if I need to, in order to come back and do the cake. Right, check on these bits, see if they are, he's a little soft. Right, what we're going to do while waiting, we're going to get the box ready. So we need extenders, the whole shebang. So I don't need all the info on this one because obviously I'm going to be there, so any info they can just get from me. And I'm transporting it as well, so don't need any extra info. Again, with the allergies, I'm just going to stick the little allergen sticker on there because it's a party, but I don't think anyone that has an allergy would actually try and eat it anyway. And again, I'm there if anyone asks, but I've just done that so that it stays, because I find the boxes always want to close. And then I'm just going to measure this up to the cake so I know where to staple. So we're going to go with that. And then you just staple it in the corners. I'll pan you down so that you can see what I'm doing. And then just match these to all the others. And then because these are at the front, I'm only going to staple them on one corner, and then you staple the other corner. Oh, we have no staples there. You staple the other corner once you've actually put on the front, otherwise it's not gonna, can't get the cake in. There we go. So that's all put together, and then we literally just need these freezer bits, and then I'll quickly give it a blast in the fridge for 10 minutes once we've done that before I go. Just doing a little bit of tidying whilst we're waiting. Let's check on these again. Right, that one is almost done. The others probably are done by now. So, we've got the little 2, which is going to go on the front. And then we have the little chocolate bars. Keep on meaning to ask you, where did you get your apron from? It's from Etsy. Someone called Peppermint Fizz, but I don't know if they're actually like trading anymore. I got it literally when I first started, so a while ago. What am I doing now? I wanted to add a few more lint. And then the cake heart will go there. Let's just check on that. Cake heart needs a bit longer. I'm going to put it in here. So, we are so close to being done. Do you have any tips for vegan baking? I don't do it anymore because I found it just stressful. But I would say they need loads more time in the fridge, I always found, because the buttercream never went as hard as normal buttercream. And Also just obviously not contaminate stuff, but apart from that I don't really know what I could say, apart from like the buttercream is really soft, so you have to be more careful when icing it and also when transporting it. But yeah, don't really know much else that might be helpful. But yeah, like I said, I don't do them anymore just because I found them stressful. Right, we are so close to being done. We are literally just adding the cake heart on the top once it's done. I think they might be done. Are you done? Yes. Finally. Right, cake heart ready. Stick that on the top like so. Add a little spray to it and some gold leaf. And then we are done. Just add any gold leaf to anything that looks a bit bare, because it literally just looks nice on everything. And then just push that down a little more. There we go. Right, the last thing to go on is this cake pop. So, oh, you're not ready. He's not ready. Put him back in. I need to move this anyway, because that is where the cake pop needs to go. So move the chocolate bar to the other side, and then the cake pop is going to go here. Right. The kitchen is so messy. So messy. Which I need to tidy up later, as well as baking a cake. So, right. Oh gosh. Luckily it landed the right way up. That could have been disastrous. Literally fell out the fridge and went like that. Thank God, because I do not have time to make another one. So, because I smudged it slightly, what we're going to do is we're going to cover up the smudge with some gold leaf, which, as you all know, is my forte. I am so good at covering up little, like, mishaps, because you won't actually be able to tell, but it just means that no one will know. Right, perfect, we're done. So, shove that there, and she is finished. Ta-da! So I need to shove her in the fridge. It's 12:15. I'm going to shove her in the fridge, and then I'm going to quickly take my hair out, box it up eventually, and then we will be leaving. So she needs like maybe like 10 minutes in the fridge. I don't know why I'm calling it she, but yeah, we need a little bit in the fridge just so we're not wobbly for the drive, because it's on country roads, so it's a very what do you call wobbly road area. I don't know what it's called, but like bumpy, just bad to drive on basically. So yeah, that is cake. So you back in the fridge. So that needs a second, but we are done. So yes, hope you enjoyed. That was tense because I need to leave. But luckily it doesn't start till 1 and I will be there by, if I leave in the next 10 minutes, I'll be there by like 1:45 latest. But I'm hoping that I can leave in the next 5 minutes probably. Stunning per usual, thank you. That's amazing. Well done. Thank you, Elizabeth, Natalie, Mia, and Katie. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if I did it wrong. And thank you, Harry. Right. Oh, and Jilly. Right. I'm going to go because I'm in a rush. My parents have just left. So I'm going to quickly take my hair out and then I am going to be raring to go. There will be lots of photos of this cake because it's my niece's, so I'm going to get some cute photos of her with it and also just some like standard photos as well, and maybe me and her with it, because why not do a little photo shoot when you've got a cake so pretty. So yeah, I am going to love you and leave you as always, and I will see you in my next live, which will probably be tonight. It will be a late one, but it will be worth it. It is a Roblox cake, so if you want to see that, that will be late tonight, maybe like 8:30, 9. That's when it will be starting it, and it will actually be a long live because it's got loads of fondant on it, so it's going to take me a while. So yes, have fun, enjoy the Biscoff. Thank you, Samantha. See you all later.